Could the Chicago Bears trade for 49ers head coach Kyle Shanahan? A lot of buzz out there. Some rumors are flying on the topic. We're certainly going to discuss that. Also, Caleb Williams, Thomas Brown speak. In Caleb's case, for the first time since Matt Eberflus has been fired, and Thomas for the second time. He spoke on Monday as well. I thought they both had some interesting things to say. And then speaking of the 49ers, the Bears play the 49ers in San Francisco this week. The Bears released their first injury report of the week. Some notable names on it, so a lot to discuss on the injury front as well. But the headliner of this video, the title you clicked, you saw the thumbnail, could the Bears trade for Kyle Shanahan? Mike Florio threw this out there on Tuesday, and, you're kind of thinking, okay, yeah, whatever. This is an easy kind of clickbaity type of thing. But something he later said was pretty interesting. So let's get into what he initially said first. He said, I feel like Shanahan and the 49ers are getting close to the point where they would benefit mutually from a fresh start. If you can get Shanahan and join him at the hip with Caleb Williams, are you kidding me? Kind of saying, hey, Chicago, why not go reach out to the Niners and just see if they are willing to kind of hit the reset button over there, and you could throw them a little something to land Kyle Shanahan. And again, initially you see this, you're like, this is wonky. The Niners are just having a down year. They're not going to trade Shanahan. They're certainly not going to fire Shanahan. Like, this just isn't going to happen. This is Florio trying to get clicks for his website. Not that he doesn't get scoops, but in this case, it's like, I feel like he's kind of taking a reach here. But then you see what he said today on 670 The Score when asked about the topic. He said, after I posted that to Pro Football Talk, that the Bears should call the Niners on Shanahan, the Ravens call the Ravens about John Harbaugh, the Dolphins about Mike McDaniel, which I thought, yeah, no thanks. I heard from another coach who said, why didn't you mention me on that list? And look, we can speculate all day long on which coach reached out to Florio, assuming he's not making that up. There's been theories. Could it be Sean McVay? Could it be Mike McCarthy, who has an expiring deal, whatever the case may be? We could theorize that all day long. That's not really the point. The point is this, is if a coach in the league is reaching out to Florio about this idea, this thought, I think Florio's point is a valid one, at least in this sense of the manner. There's no harm if you're the Bears to check in on the Niners, who I do think are a team who are kind of stuck because it feels like they've peaked with this, not necessarily regime of head coach GM, John Lynch, Kyle Shanahan, but with some of these veteran players. George Kittle, how much longer is he going to play at a high level? Deebo Samuel has kind of fallen off a cliff this year. Ayuk tore his ACL. How's he going to bounce back next year? Trent Williams is 36 years old. You're going to lose Charvarius Ward in free agency. So it's like you're going to have to pay Brock Purdy soon potentially. So they may have missed their window. And the Niners and Shanahan after the season might be like, hey, we got to make some major roster changes and kind of shift toward the future. And that could take a year of not being great next year. And does Kyle Shanahan want to do that after having a frustratingly poor season this year? I think he could be open to the idea of, hey, if I go to a situation like a Caleb Williams in Chicago, that appeals to me. I don't know if he would think that at all. I don't know if he would like the idea of working under the McCaskies, Kevin Warren. Like, there's certainly some question marks with the Bears organizational structure. We all understand that. But I'll say this from a Bears standpoint, and I know some of you out there are thinking, we're not trading for Kyle Shanahan. A, it would never happen. B, I don't want to trade draft picks. Just ask yourself. Imagine Kyle Shanahan coaching Caleb Williams, coaching this offense, coaching this football team. I mean, if he was the coach this year, what would the record be right now? And I don't even think he's having a great coaching year in San Francisco. I feel pretty good you'd have 3 to 5 more wins than you currently do. Because there's just no way this team would have melted under pressure time and time again like we've seen down the stretch of these football games. So I'm just going to throw a trade idea out there, and you guys walk with me because it's going to cost a lot. Sean Payton costed, I think it was a first and another pick, and then the Broncos got a third back from the Saints. And that's after Payton took a year off, and the Saints had already hired Dennis Allen. So I threw this out there, and I don't even know this would be enough. You get Shanahan and a fourth this year because the Bears don't have a fourth this year. Kind of helps fill your draft this year. You give them a second this year. You have 2 second-round picks and a first next year. Maybe it's 2 ones. That would be a tough pill to swallow, but I'd still heavily consider it. I want you guys to weigh in. Would you make this trade? Type T for trade or type P for pass when it comes to this trade for Kyle Shanahan? Let me know down in the comment section below. Maybe it's crazy. Maybe it's an admission of we don't trust ourselves to hire the right coach. I would do this. And if it came down to it's going to cost 2 ones, I might do that too. Because think about this. You already would be a much higher winning team right now with Shanahan right now. Yeah, it would suck to lose out on those picks, but you don't have those players on your team right now. Like, could it hurt your depth down the road a little bit? Yeah, it could, but I also think you have enough cap space and enough draft ammunition where you could overcome that if you simply have the right coach to pair with this quarterback. Kyle Shanahan has had a hell of a run in San Francisco, and you might look at that record and say it's only 11 games above 500. Well, the first 2 years they were 10-22 because he took over for Jim freaking Tom Sula. It's like taking over for Matt Eberflus, although this Bears team is actually talented. He's 8-4 in the playoffs. He's won the division 3 times, and it's been a tough division for most of the years he's been there. He's made the Super Bowl twice, could have won both of them, and I see people on Bears Twitter, he can't win a Super Bowl. Why would I hire him? Yeah, because choosing Matt Eberflus gave you even a chance to make the playoffs. Guys, let's be real here. 4 NFC Championship game appearances. And oh, by the way, I like Brock Purdy. Caleb Williams is much more talented. Doesn't mean he'll be better. But I think with the proper coach, he's got a pretty damn good chance of being a lot better than Brock Purdy. He's sure as shit better than Jimmy Garoppolo, who he had a fourth quarter lead in the Super Bowl against the Kansas City Chiefs. This guy is a hell of a football coach. And with the talent you have, if you can get a little bit better on your offensive line, this offense could be good for years to come with this head coach. So yeah, is it kind of embarrassing that you're admitting that you don't trust who you would hire if you went this route? Yeah, it is. But if you start winning, is anybody going to care? No. Look at Sean Payton in Denver. Working pretty well, right? And that's with them cutting Russell Wilson with all that dead cap money. So I would be pretty happy if they went this route. It's not ideal in terms of giving up the picks, but you know what? I want a winner at head coach. And Kyle Shanahan, has he won the big one yet? No. Andy Reid didn't win the big one either until he got hit to his second stop, but he won a shit ton in Philadelphia. Kyle Shanahan has won a shit ton in San Francisco. Subscribe to the channel. We'll cover every single Bears coaching news item, rumor item out there, candidates that are being mentioned. We'll kind of continue to explore if these guys would be good fits. I put out a video earlier today about 3 coaches Courtney Cronin mentioned as people the Bears want to interview, so go check out that video. Once you subscribe, go to the content tab. Check out all of our recent content as well since the firing of Matt Eberflus. All right, Caleb Williams talking adversity. He was asked straight up, do you think all these coaching changes, all this chaos, could it hurt your development as you progress into your career? Here's what he had to say. He said, no. I think this is a stepping stone of development. To be able to have this all in my first year, not happy for it, but having these moments will help me in the future. And I just listened to this guy today and really how he's talked all season, and it just made me think and reflect on all the chatter we heard coming into the draft and into last offseason. Caleb's gonna, he's gonna refuse to go to the Bears, and then some people said he should refuse to go to the Bears. And shit, after all this is played out, if he had that thought, would I really blame him? But he's saying all the right things. He's done all the right things in terms of dismissing those narratives out there. Like, he's handling this chaos pretty damn well and has found a way to improve as a player amidst all of it throughout the course of his rookie season. So, Ryan Poles, George McCaskey, Kevin Warren, if you're watching this right now, listen the hell up. It is time to wake up and get this thing right, because you've got the guy sitting right in front of you. Caleb Williams is here. He's different. He's better than Mitch Trubisky. He's better than Justin Fields. I know a few people don't think so. He is. Believe me on that one. You got to get him the right coach, because Matt Eberflus wasn't going to cut it. It's why I threw out, yeah, it might suck to give up the picks, but trading for Kyle Shanahan to pair with Caleb Williams sounds pretty good to me. So this organization, it's on them now, and it's long overdue to get this thing right. So I don't care what you have to do. I don't care what it's going to take. You better get this quarterback the right coach. Otherwise, you are going to be wasting the opportunity of having a big-time talent for years to come. The organization of the Bears, it stinks right now. Maybe they need to get going with our sponsor, Mando. Awesome products that are going to keep you odor-free on the go. Sometimes you don't have time to make a run to your house and take a quick shower. Maybe you go on a jog before work, don't have time to rinse off. Well, use Mando's products. They're going to have you odor-free, some of their products, by up to 72 hours, including their whole body deodorant, which you can rub under your pits, your package, head to toe. It is a option for you. I've been using Mando's products for quite a while now. The first couple times I used them, my wife Hannah was like, "Ooh, what's that smell? That smells pretty good." And I was like, "Oh, how was I smelling before?" But I was like, "Yeah, I got going with Mando. They've been awesome to me, and they'll be awesome for you as well." Different scents available as well, including Bourbon Leather, Clover Woods, Pro Sport, and Mount Fuji. Mando is clinically proven to control odor better than a shower with soap alone. 12 hours after a shower, the average men's grundle odor was a 5 out of 10. With Mando, the average grundle odor is a 0 out of 10. So what are you waiting for? The starter pack is perfect for new customers. Use code CHAT to get $5 off the starter pack, which comes with the solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice like the mini body wash and deodorant wipes. All you got to do is go to shopmando.com, use code CHAT for $5 off. Shopmando.com, code CHAT for $5 off. That link will be in the comments and in the description. Fellas, take advantage of Mando today. Thomas Brown taking advantage of his opportunity. At least that's what he's looking to do as he takes over. First full practice was today as he officially has the interim head coach title. And this guy's a tone setter. That's really kind of my early takeaways of this guy, listening to players talk and just his presence when you listen to him talk to the media. He kind of talked about his mentality and philosophy when it comes to football today. He said, "Football is a violent game, and it rewards those who play the game violently. That is a non-negotiable for us." He later said, "I don't expect perfection. I expect excellence," when talking about his players. He's like, "Yeah, look, you're not going to be perfect on every play. I can nitpick these guys, something off these guys on every single play. But I expect your best every day. I expect excellence." This guy is setting the tone. He's saying, hey, we're not going to settle for jogging. We're going to settle for sprinting. Effort is a non-negotiable. So I just like the way this guy sounds, just the command he takes when he speaks. He's got it. Again, I don't know if he's going to be a good head coach, but he's got a command about him, and it's pretty clear, and you hear chatter around the league, and people aren't surprised about this guy getting an opportunity, and some people think it's long overdue. His presence is undeniable. It really, really is. Thomas Brown also had this to say when it comes to all the coaching changes and the promotions he's got recently. He said, "If you're bad at your job, they move on from you. If you're good at your job, they give you an opportunity to stay around. If you're great at your job, you get elevated." And this wasn't a shot at Matt Eberflus, but he's kind of just said, listen, this is a results-based business. If the results aren't there, you're not going to be employed for very long. And he's absolutely right. That's just how this goes. He saw this firsthand in Carolina last year. It was so bad they fired Frank Reich 13 games in. So they made a change there. He's seen it. He's been on the goods. He's been on the highest of highs, being the assistant head coach with Sean McVay, who he said he spoke to a couple nights ago, by the way, when they won the Super Bowl. And then he's been on the lowest of lows of a head coach he worked under getting fired 13 games in with the Carolina Panthers. And now he gets his chance. And look, I don't know if he's going to be the long-term head coach. We have no idea. But it is clear that he's ready for this opportunity. He's attacking it with both feet, and I'm eager and excited to see how it goes. Again, I can't look into the future. I don't know what's going to happen. I do think he's going to be a real candidate unless this thing just falls off a cliff here over the final 5 weeks, and I think he's got a chance to win a decent amount of these games because the Bears are knocking on the door. They're right there against good teams. They just have to find a way to finish. And ideally start these games a little bit better as well. That would go a long way. Show Thomas Brown some love. Get the TBs going down in the comment section below as we're all rooting for you, Coach, and we'll see how it pans out. All right, injury stuff, then we'll get out of here. 9 players on the injury report, including 6 that did not practice here. Both Keenan Allen and DJ Moore did not practice. Ankle for Allen, Moore with the quad, so keep an eye on that. Both guys have been a little beat up this year, but this is the first time, at least in a while, especially for DJ, that a practice has been missed. Maybe it's just an extra rest day. Who knows? But something to monitor. DeAndre Swift as well. I mean, those three guys, I think I saw a tweet, that's like 55% of your offensive production. So something to consider. Roschon Johnson in the concussion protocol as well. Ryan Bates still in there. That's a little concerning. Been a few weeks now. And then Elijah Hicks with the ankle injury. These three players were limited on the good news front. Darnell Wright got carted off the field on the sideline, and he was limited with the knee, so that would be a major lift if he could play. Something that was kind of lost in that Lions game, Larry Borom was terrible when he had to come in for Darnell Wright. He's given up 6 sacks this year. He's only played in 3 games. I mean, I've kind of liked Larry Borom as like a swing tackle, backup guy. He has been awful when he's had to play this year. Coleman Shelton with the knee. He's played better recently, so you certainly hope he can get out there. And then Kevin Byard limited with the shoulder as well. Thomas Brown did say everybody on the injury report still has a chance to play on Sunday, so we'll see how the next couple of days go. Obviously, the extra time off between the Thursday game and this week should help guys who could be, on the fence 50-50 and whether or not they can play. But obviously just a few days left until they travel to the Bay Area. All right, busy show here on Chicago Bears Now. This coaching thing, it's going to continue to be hectic. We're going to cover it all here on the channel, so hit that subscribe button. We're back live tomorrow at 4 o'clock Central Time. We'll have a video up in the morning as well. Don't miss any of that here on Chicago Bears Now.